Good evening, everyone. My name is John Mensah, and today I'll be presenting on cyber terrorism, more specifically about the Ardit Farizi case study. First things first, what is cyber terrorism? Cyber terrorism is the use of cyber capabilities to conduct enabling disruptive and destructive military operations in cyberspace to create and exploit fear through violence or the threat of violence in the pursuit of political change. The importance of this case. This case is considered to be a milestone in the fight against terrorism because it was one of the first ones where the individual was brought to justice. It is also important that we understand our sense of growing vulnerabilities because of our mass use of technology, and also to address the long lasting effects on the 1,300 Americans whose lives have been changed forever because of what Ardit Farizi did. I would also address a little bit about the damage and effect on the Illinois company where he stole the information from. So some key areas of cyber terrorism. Cyber terrorism can be conducted through phishing, which is a cyber crime in which a target or targets are contacted through emails, telephone, or text messages by someone posing as a legitimate institution to lure the individuals into providing sensitive data such as personal identifiable information, banking, and credit card details and passwords. So watering hole is something new that I learned over the course of this project, which is a security exploit in which the attacker seeks to compromise a specific group of end users by infecting websites that members of the group are known to visit. Then there's ransomware, which I have personally been a victim of. Is a type of malicious software or malware designed to deny access to computer systems or data until a ransom is paid. In my case, my father had to pay $50 because he was the one who it happened to, but it happened on my computer. So how is terrorism, or how do terrorists use the internet? So terrorists use the internet to spread propaganda through their online magazines and also self-help literatures. They use it to recruit through social media and also through self-help websites, and also they use it to mobilize their troops. Is a way to bring everyone together, or the different cells together. So, summary of the case study of Ardit Farizi. So, Farizi was an individual who provided hundreds of United States citizens information to ISIS in support of them spreading terror. He supported ISIS by administering a website that hosted ISIL videos. On March 20th, 2015, Hussein, who was one of the leaders of ISIS, under the name of Islamic State Hacking Division, posted a kill list, which was provided by Farizi. On June 13, 2015, Farizi gained access to a company based in Illinois and exploited them and stole information from them and posted the information on an ISIS website. So through that, he was able to obtain about 1,300 United States military and government personnel information and posted them on the website for all ISIL. On August 11th, 2015, Hussein, who's, like I said, was a leader of ISIL, acted in the name of Islamic State Hacking Division, sent a communication over Twitter where he basically stated, and I'll read, "We are in your emails and computer systems, watching and recording your every move. We have your names and addresses. We are in your emails and social media accounts. We are extracting confidential data and passing on your personal information to the soldiers of the Khalifa, who soon, with the permission of Allah, will strike at your necks at your own land, in your own land." This message is very striking and very alarming that the United States United States investigators had to get on it right away. September 15th, 2015, Malaysian authorities detained Farizi while he was trying to leave the country. Mind you, he didn't have the right to travel because he was on a watch list by the Malaysian authorities. So when he was trying to leave the country, he was detained, and when U.S. authorities found out about this, they alerted the Malaysian authorities, and they held Farizi for him to be extradited to the United States. He was eventually extradited to the United States on January 22nd and was later on sentenced to 20 years in prison for support of ISIL or ISIS. So some of the main issues that we face with cyber terrorism is that it's constantly changing, and terrorists are always finding sophisticated ways to use social media to spew their propaganda agenda. The use of social media to crowdsource savvy hackers makes it hard for investigators to tackle cyber attackers or cyber terrorists. In terms of prevention, the most that we can do, when I say we, I'm talking about citizens and also big companies can do, is constant updates on firewalls, password protection systems, intrusion detection systems, and also security encryption. These are some of the most powerful ways to fight against cyber terrorism. So in terms of what was done well, this was the first successful arrest and prosecution of cyber terrorism, which is why I stated earlier that it was a milestone in terms of the fight against cyber terrorism. It also forced companies to develop a list of best security practices and has increased security awareness while also providing stricter cyber laws. Lessons learned. The implementation of security has become an integral part of development in softwares and devices. Password encryption has become a thing of the past. So companies are coming up with new ways to encrypt or to safeguard our information on our technologies. Last things that we've learned is that cyber terrorism must be considered as an imminent threat at all times. Because of the technology that we use today and the vast amounts of technology that we use today, we need to consider this as a threat to our daily lives. Some of the ramifications of Farizi's actions was that he has put 1,300 U.S. persons' lives in danger forever. The list that he released is still out there and can be accessed by ISIS at any time. Actions have also forced cyber terrorists to seek out extreme measures. It is important to also note that for as long as we are using technology, we are always going to be vulnerable to such attacks. Also, similar case would be the Kane Gamble case. He was an individual who targeted CIA, FBI, and DOJ databases. Basically, he got himself a computer, sat in his mother's basement, and hacked the CIA, FBI databases. So when working on this assignment, I was interested to see who or what agencies work on what parts of cyber terrorism. In my research, I discovered that the CIA manages a 24-hour command center for all cyber threats. The FBI investigates hackers, and Secret Service handles all banking, fraud, wiretapping cases. The Air Force have created a electric security engineering team, and basically what this team does is it goes to all different to the different Air Force bases and tries to infiltrate their systems. So if they're able to infiltrate the system, that means that there's a vulnerability, and that means that that's a vulnerability that they have to work on. Also, the private sector relies on tech conferences such as Pwn Down, which is hosted in Canada every year, where all the great minds, all the hackers come together and companies allow them to hack their systems so they can detect vulnerabilities in your system and then try to fix those gaps. So in all, cybersecurity is a new type of terrorism that has been around for about 20 years since the invention of the internet. And it's only gonna get worse because of our use of technology. So we all just need to be very mindful and very aware of our information and protecting our information at all costs. Thank you for listening.